from last year, July 7th to September the 7th, from SAPA, it was clearly understood the powers which the Commission of Enquiry has, right?
Yes.
So in terms of criminal prosecution and so forth, I understand that is beyond all the reach or powers, right? So,
correct.
Having been around with the families and speaking to the families, right? You know, it is going well on 15 months, and due to the death of the divers, they have lost breadwinners, the sole breadwinners of their families. So could you state or say if any recommendations would be put forward in your final report stating that financial compensation be made to the families?
Well, I need to be a little careful, I'm afraid. I mean, I have my own personal views, which are quite separate from my responsibility as the chairman of this Commission of Enquiry. Look, anybody in the situation in which these families are need to be helped. That is just a human thing. It's got nothing to do with whose responsibility it is, whether it was one person's fault, one company's fault, or leave that to one side for a minute. If your family have suffered a bereavement in the manner in which these families have, common decency says, let's help them. Just let's help them. You don't need to put your hand up and say it's my responsibility, I feel responsible. Just help them out. I mean, that's just common decency. And I'm as a human being, have no hesitation in saying that. What I can ultimately recommend in such a report is not really something within my remit, because my responsibility with Mr. Wilson is to put together the facts as we see them, make recommendations as to what might happen as a result of those facts, and then to consider whether or not there are measures that can be put in place to ensure that this sort of tragedy never, ever happens again.